It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Please take it as a warning. I've been sitting dormant. Took a break from booking my performance. Young Nolan was on it once upon a time. Open my destinations. Used to check the rhyme. Q-tip in the ear. Let me say this clear so you fuck niggas hit me. You niggas suck. You ain't near me. I'm making bucks so I can duck the inquiries. My flow the truth. I can't trust in your theories. These rappers lying now. 6 million ways to demise. We got them dying out. Crying out. What is it your life about? Sincerely, I've been dedicated. Building reputations. Rising expectations. Look at me. Fighting my temptations. I've been serenaded plentifully. My imagery lyrically made with symmetry. I've been hard, killing niggas out the family tree. I feel like Benoit, used to educate them at them seminars. Now it's all about me, shining when I'm grinding. I take my talents to South Beach, they voluntary mouthpiece. I turn it down when I turn around to be flirting for surface, buffing my crown. Bitch, I'm good on my own. I got a wife and a son in my home, so get used to rejection. If any niggas say my name, hope you use protection. I cross niggas for the fun of it. Who's the pedestrian? Burn your canals just to get to the root of my questions. Oh no, LeBron body, I'm all-star. Hard body like porn star body and all y'all. Airplane on my phone calls, fuck all the small talk. Press a button, your life rerouted like it's the OnStar. If you been yearning for the real, y'all should have been said it. These cowards would have been dead. Let my win set it. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday afternoon. In this particular show, we're going to be talking about Doechii, which if you're not a part of Patreon, y'all see it over here in the corner, patreon.com/realjnolan. I actually have a reaction to Jenny featuring Doechii, Extra L. Doechii smoked that record on the feature. I like the song overall. So if you want to get my real-time reaction to that song, it was just released a couple days ago, but I got to it earlier today. Make sure you join over there. We're going to have more exclusive content over there in the coming days, weeks, months, etc. We're just going to be, pumping out reactions and stuff like that, but it's only going to be over there on the Patreon because YouTube, got their own copyright stuff like that. And until we can get whitelisted by these labels and other people, it just got to be the way it's got to be. Nonetheless, we're still going to be talking about Doechii because she's got a new interview that was recently released with The Cut. And she talks about her road to, becoming a Grammy-winning hip-hop artist, all of the new success, all of the success around Alligator Bites Never Heal, the talk in hip-hop about, what's so-called slave music or whatever you want to call it. In this interview, she definitely goes out and continues to defend hip-hop and says, anybody who looks at this culture in that way, they're definitely rooted in racism. I totally agree. And, I like the fact that she's speaking the truth. She's standing on it. She's not minimizing herself or diluting herself down to be accepted by, mainstream, even though she's getting a lot of mainstream acceptance and love at the same time. But she's doing it her way. She's still being herself. And I like that. And she's immensely talented. I always say she raps better than a rapper. She sings just as good as any other singer, if not better. And her stage presence, performance, breath control, delivery on stage is better than seasoned vets who've been here for decades. So what is it to really go against her about unless you just say the music doesn't hit me? If the music don't hit you, that's your prerogative. But to say it's slave music or some Harriet Tubman type shit, that is weird. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull up the interview. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to read through this. Shout out to all my reading club folks over here, the book club over here inside the industry. If you're not part of that, hey, you don't got to tune in, or you can check out some other stuff in the meantime. But for those of y'all that understand the culture over here and how we do this with these text interviews, let's lock in. So here we are on The Cut. They say, bow down to Doechii. Fresh off her Grammy win, the unapologetic Florida rapper is just getting started. Doechii is tired, but she doesn't have the time to relax. We're standing in the lobby of the Civilian Hotel in Midtown on a freezing December afternoon, and after a brief introduction, we're already on the move. The rapper doesn't walk, she strides, her arms crossed over her chest and heels click-clacking on the pavement as we head to Masseria Cafe and Bakery for coffee. She woke up early this morning for an appearance on The Breakfast Club, where she told Charlamagne the God about her new girlfriend, and now she has to catch a flight back to Los Angeles in a few hours. At Masseria, despite the frigid temperatures, Doechii orders an iced caramel latte with 2 times the sweetness. She turns to me, ever been to my son Pickle? I just had some last night, a sweet spicy pickle, she says. I was like, oh my God, I ain't no pickle person, but if that's what you like, more power to you. I know some people out there that love those things. Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever experienced in my life. It's a bold statement for someone who has been achieving a lot of personal bests lately. The week we met, she'd gone viral twice. First for an intricate self-choreographed performance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, in which she rapped a 5-minute medley of 2 songs from her mixtape, Alligator Bites Never Heal, while dancing alongside 2 other performers, all literally connected to one another by interwoven braids. Then a jazz-infused NPR Tiny Desk set that showcased the artist performing her already speedy Nissan Altima at a quicker tempo to an arrangement played by an all-black, all-femme, all-braided band made the rounds online too, in which she smoked both of those performances completely. If you haven't seen either one or both, go check them out after this video. Okay? Though she has experienced this kind of virality before, mostly on TikTok, where her songs tend to soundtrack everything from puppeteering performances to Get Ready With Me videos, the moment feels different. She's collected cosigns from Kendrick Lamar, he called her the hardest out, and Tyler, the Creator, who told me she's really sick, like super duper 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 good. And then there are those Grammy nominations: Best New Artist, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Album. She'd go on to win the Grammy for Best Rap Album, giving a heartfelt speech to boot. Since the category's creation in 1996, she said 2 women have won. Then she corrected herself. 3 women have won: Lauryn Hill, Cardi B, and Doechii. Rare air up there. The moment was capped off by a performance of her songs Catfish and Denial is a River, in which she rapped with a fleet of dancers wearing Tom Brown. This is serious, she told me between rehearsals before the show. It reminds me of when I would do talent shows and it was cute for everybody, but it was very, very serious for me. I've mentioned this before, but fun fact, Doechii was up there literally doing that performance with bronchitis. So she's in her bag, man. Because I don't know if I'd have been in that. I mean, like, the Grammys, you got to do it, but shit. She was out there Super Bowl weekend performing in New Orleans too with the bronchitis shit. She been out here. Anyway, she says, it reminds me of when I would do talent shows and it was cute for everybody, but it was very, very serious for me. Right after the ceremony, she dropped the celebratory track Nosebleeds with the gramophone as the single's cover art on the song She Boasts. Everybody wanted to know what Doechii would do if she didn't win. I guess we'll never blank. Seemingly referencing Kanye West's infamous Best Rap Album winner's speech at the 2005 Grammys. Doechii's career has been operating in hyperspeed ever since the artist released her 2020 single Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, an acerbic rye song about bits of her childhood, food stamps, Lisa Frank lipstick, and getting caught masturbating. Oh, shit. The title was inspired by Barbara Park's Junie B. Jones children's book series. I was a lot like Junie. She did what she wanted. She was very curious, and she just went for it, Doechii says, settling into a small leather couch back at her hotel, both legs crossed beneath her brown leather boots still on. Even though she had her issues, she had the feminine rage about her that I really, really liked. Since Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, she has received pressure from her label and fans to make cookie-cutter hits to please the masses, but she pushes back. I don't like making music just for a moment. I like to make music for therapy, for an inner experience, an inner purpose, and not just for an algorithm. Okay? And that seems to have rubbed people in numerous different ways, especially those that try to criticize her for that. When Tyler, the Creator, first listened to Doechii's song Catfish, in which she raps about a freaky little, sneaky little, creepy little whack bitch, he said he felt jealous. Okay, this is a quote from Tyler. He said, I heard that record and I'm like, oh, I'm nothing. I need to get punched in my fucking face so I can do this, he told me. They eventually collaborated on Balloon from Tyler's most recent album, Chromacopia. She was not going to let it just be whatever Tyler said. She held her own, which she was supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? She's a new artist coming in. Everything has got to be an impression. Doechii was born Jayla Jemiah Hickman in Florida. She says her dad writes raps in his spare time, and her mother, the more analytical one, primarily raised her. I didn't know her dad was, was an MC of his own, in his own right. She grew up in Tampa, a place she says will always inform her body of work. Her Swamp Princess persona, excuse me, and the reptilian titles of much of her discography, that's all Florida. But it's not only her artistry that's been influenced by the Sunshine State. My chaos, my freedom, just my raunchiness, she says. Doechii remembers a night at her grandmother's house by the railroad tracks when she, her cousins, and her younger sisters, all still children, tore off their shoes and began racing on a patch of concrete. The whole family was outside barefoot. The little kids would race, the aunties. Then we made grandma and grandpa race. We just do it bare feet, she tells me. That's the most Florida shit. When she was in the 6th grade, she says God told her to write down the phrase, I am Doechii. The decision saved her life. I don't want to get super dark, she says, raising her eyebrows. When she looks at me, I was getting bullied so bad that I was thinking about unaliving myself. I realized, oh, fuck. I'm gonna unalive myself, and then I'm gonna be the only one dead. The bullies aren't gonna be with me, and everything they said is not coming with me either. I would just be gone, she says matter-of-factly before cracking a half-mouthed grin. And then I was like, fuck that. She's almost yelling now, leaning back into the couch and waving her hands playfully. Fuck that shit. I'm not going for that. And this wash of peace came over me and I received I am Doechii. But it was more like this feeling of I made a choice, a decision. I am the most important character in this movie. This is my motherfucking movie. I know that's right, goddamn. Shit. Doechii's sound is a callback to old school 90s hip hop, playful, up-tempo, contemporary spoken word, pop culture references, and Gen Z shit posting. On Alligator Bites, which she says is for the girls and the gays that have a passion inside of them and are sassy, independent, strong, but they need an extra push. She mocks the hamster wheel of the music industry, blows raspberries, and trolls her own label, yet still pumps the brakes on the irony by peppering in soulful bridges. She claims the mixtape's name popped into her head via the same higher power that christened her with her stage name. God told me to do it and I did it, she says. The meaning of the mixtape's title still evades her, but Doechii trusts the process. I know that God will reveal to me what it means later. On Nissan Altima, Doechii flexes her rapping chops and gets cheeky about her bisexuality. She's munching on the box while she watching Hulu in just 2 minutes. The Now is a River is a traversing therapeutic conversation. People are a little bit worried about you. Why don't you just tell me what's been going on? The other voice asked before Doechii admits to her experiences with drugs and alcohol. Of course, this is a quote from the song. I like pills, I like drugs, I like day drinking and day parties in Hollywood. The shit works, it feels good, and my self-worth's at an all-time low. It's a relatable cycle of self-destruction, and Doechii's vulnerability is striking. She says, I have moments where I'm worried, and I'm like, maybe I should dial it back because that's a little too honest. But I don't give a fuck because I know that in the end, it's going to pay off more for me to be real. In my music, I have to be raw and explicit or else it'll make me uncomfortable. I don't like secrets. To record the mixtape, she locked herself away for an entire month, letting only her sound engineer, Jada Love, in on the process. And it sounds like her engineer is also a woman. So she's staying true to herself and staying true to her, her ethos. Doechii attributes the retro sound of much of Alligator Bites to her newfound sobriety, a lifestyle she adopted this past summer to allow her brain to remember things. She has started to feel a little sentimental too. I'm gravitating back towards things that I used to love, she tells me. The first album I ever purchased and ever remember listening to in full length was The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The nostalgia trip also inspired the creative direction of her Now is a River music video, a modern-day homage to the laugh track sitcoms of the 90s, starring Zach Fox, Ricky Thompson, and Earl Sweatshirt, among others. Old school hip-hop is vulnerability. I'm gravitating towards the pure skill that was incorporated. Anyone who doesn't think that hip hop is an intellectual genre, I think that assumption is rooted in racism. And I stand by that statement 1,000%. It may not be utilized as an intellectual genre at all times, but there's plenty of moments that lend credibility to exactly what she's saying. And we've had brilliant minds in this shit from the beginning. The women who paved the way for someone like Doechii to come along, Lil' Kim, Mary J. Blige, Missy Elliott, pushed back against the notion that sexual liberation had to come at the cost of vulnerable emotional transparency. The feeling that I have when I listen to the miseducation of Lauryn Hill is the same thing is the same feeling I want some other black little girl to have when she listens to me, Doechii says. And in order for her to have that feeling, I have to talk about my feelings, which is absolutely correct. That's one of the reasons why I identified with like early Kanye. You know what I'm saying? He just went down a different path later on. Candace's songwriting is high on her hierarchy of needs. When she gets the urge to record, it feels like when you've been holding your pee for a really long time. Outside the studio, she's open-minded and resistant to being categorized as only one thing. Last year, she received comments on TikTok from fans demanding that she never get any cosmetic surgery. She replied by saying she'd already gotten some tweaks. Doechii also likes to wear visible cosmetic face tape around her temples because, as she said on TikTok last year, it's cunt. People make comments to me like, oh my God, please never touch your face. If you did that, I just wouldn't be able to support you. I'm thinking to myself, they have no idea that I have Botox and filler and whatever, and you love exactly who I am now. Well, that's interesting. When you go to somebody and be like, please never change yourself. And they're like, shit, I already done did a couple things, homie. But shit, fuck it. This winter, rumors began circulating online that the rapper must be an industry plant, despite her having released music and YouTube vlogs since high school. As a teen, she posted videos of herself having her makeup done by her sister, sitting with her friends in class, and ranting over someone who confronted her about selling fried chicken at school, a business supported by her mom who would help her cook and deliver the food. Well, ain't that shit? Damn. Chicken must have been good as fuck. She says, when people aren't familiar with the history of an artist these days, they get suspicious. I'm pretty detached emotionally from it because I understand where it's coming from. And to be honest, once you get any conspiracies around your career, that's just confirmation that I'm going somewhere and I'm doing something right. Is that it? I guess that's it. So that's Doechii talking about the process, some of the thought process that went into Alligator Bites Never Heal, lending her thoughts towards some of what people say about her music and trying to act like hip hop isn't the proper medium to try to push thought-provoking ideas and try to challenge the listener in ways that take them outside of the scope of what is mainstream or so-called pop or whatever it is, right? I thought hip hop was supposed to be a genre to, really lean in on self-expression much more deeply than others. But of course, we have this new generation of listeners, people that only look at, what you've accomplished as, I guess, the value of who you are. But in the midst of that, she's still accomplishing a hell of a lot. So there's that, right? Oh, shit, I got myself sitting in the corner there. So, again, I fuck with Doechii. I'm actually really looking forward to this debut album that she's been working on. I'm ready for it. I don't know when it's supposed to drop, but she is doing a lot of, features and stuff. She did the Katy Perry shit. She got the joint with Jessie. And I'm looking forward to her doing even more. You know what I'm saying? Leading into the debut. I'm interested to see where she goes with her sound, with her visuals. I still am holding out hope that she's going to end up on the Grand National Tour with Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I hope so. That would be my wish, you know what I'm saying? At least when they come to Atlanta, I don't give a fuck what she do everywhere else. But when you come to Atlanta, please be on the tour so we can see you. But yeah, man, I like her. I support her. I'm going to be on the lookout for anything she has to come. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. king of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.